In this video, we're going to show you how to fix a screwed up unit of measure. So we have a part number that was set up, and it was set up in the unit of measure of each because that's the default unit of measure. But unfortunately, this is something we measure in feet. And if I click on edit and try to change the unit of measure to feet, we get this error message saying you can't do that because it's already in a bunch of bills of material. Okay. So to get around this, the first thing we do is back up the bills of material because we're going to import those. And then the second thing we do is put this part to sleep and recreate it. So those are the steps I'm going to show you now. We'll go to File, Export. Then went to File in the top left-hand corner, selected Export. Then click Bills of Material. I'm going to click Bills of Material and then export it to a location that we can find it again. Click Next. And I can actually select the bills of material or export them all. We're going to export them all. Click Next, Finish, and then open this up. So now we've got this spreadsheet. So it looks like this. This is what the bill of material spreadsheet looks like. So we're going to save that and just minimize it for a second. So now that we have that backed up, go here, type ZZZ and inactivate and save. So basically what we just did was we put that to sleep. And then we do a snippet of that so we remember. Just do a snippet of that because we're going to create this again. And then maybe write a note of what vendor we bought it from or we buy it from. And then, okay. So then we create the part again using our snippet. Oops. Red. And this is where we need to be careful right here because it defaults to each. Okay. And this particular part we don't sell, so I'm just going to uncheck that because it's not for sale. But now that's the stock unit of measure. So you just ask yourself, how do we want to count this part? How do we want to see it in reports? When we see how many is in stock, what's the unit of measure we want to view when we're just saying, okay, how many is in stock? That's the unit of measure we choose there. This is like your stock unit of measure, okay? And then we'll go next, 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 next until we get to enter vendor info. So we'll put that back in there. I think it was Central AZ Supply. And then it defaults to feet. But in this case, we buy it in, do we buy it in rolls of 300?
Yes.
Okay, so roll of 300, and we can look up the cost later. We don't know the cost off the top of our head yet, right?
Right.
Okay, we'll look it up later. And this particular category is plumbing, so I'll put in plumbing. That's a custom field. Plumbing, finish. Okay, so we put this part to sleep and we created a new part. So now we'll see if we go to show all, we'll see we have a ZZZ part that's wrong and the correct part. And this one is inactive. And if we go to this part and go to the bill of material, we'll see that the bill of material is screwed up and it's a ZZZ. Now this probably isn't the best example because this is only on one bill of material, right? The other one was a better example because it was on like 12 bills of material. And so the export and import made more sense.
Mhm.
But the export and import might make sense, if you have like 10 parts you need to fix. And that's where the other tool comes in handy, this file export part product renaming spreadsheet. Now that would allow you to ZZZ put parts to sleep in mass and in mass recreate. So you would change parts to ZZZ. And before you do that, export your part product vendor pricing spreadsheet. So you export your part product vendor pricing spreadsheet. And on that spreadsheet, change the unit of measure to feet, you know,
Mhm.
then export this spreadsheet, part product renaming, put all your wrong parts to sleep, and then import the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet that has the correct unit of measures. So that's how you would do it if you have lots of parts that were set up wrong, like this. Is export part product vendor pricing, fix the unit of measure, put them to sleep, import the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet. Okay, sorry, that was just a side tangent note, just in case you have a big mess up. I don't know how big the mess up is. Okay, but back to just this one part. So this one part, had the unit of measure in each on the bill of material. And we've got this part screwed up now because we changed it to ZZZ. So how do we fix it? Well, we import the BOM that we previously imported. So if you do this in the right order, then it's all going to work out really nice. Step one, export the bill of material. Step two, put your parts to sleep and recreate them correctly. Okay. Step three, import the BOM back in. Import the BOM.
I said, did we change it on the bomb the second time? I don't remember, honestly.
Oh, you're right. We forgot that part. So line number 423 is saying, hey, that unit of measure doesn't work. So if we go here to the BOM, click on data, filter, search for the part number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Search for the part number here. That unit of measure should be feet.
Mhm.
So it's giving us an error message because there's no unit of measure conversion between feet and each, which is good because each is not a unit of measure that can be fractioned. It's designed to work with serial numbers, and serial numbers can't be fractioned. So each is like a locked in unit of measure in Fishbowl that you cannot fraction. Um, so we'll click save. Save that. And now if we go to Fishbowl, go to File in the top left-hand corner, Import, Bill of Materials. Next, it's selected, Finish. Now that should import without error. And see, it's screwed up. If I click refresh, now it's fixed. And
Okay.
it's in feet. So anything that is measured in feet needs to be fixed like that. So once again, export the bills of material as a backup, and you're going to fix the units of measure on the bill of material.
Mhm.
If there's tons of these, export the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet, fix the unit of measures on that, export the part product renaming spreadsheet, and put the parts to sleep that are wrong, all the parts that are each that should have been feet,
Mhm.
ZZZ and inactivate them on that spreadsheet. I'll show you what that looks like because that's not one many people look at. Thank goodness, because that just means that something went wrong if you're using this spreadsheet
Mhm.
or you set it up wrong. But yeah, so here's the part product renaming spreadsheet. It just has parts and no descriptions. So you might have to use a VLOOKUP formula if you're not sure what the part is.
Okay.
And notice there's no units of measure on this either. So you might have to use a VLOOKUP formula to pull the units of measures over to kind of see, okay, which ones are screwed up, right?
Mhm.
Um, but notice it says old part number, new part number.
Okay.
And so, hypothetically saying if we go down to the ones that we think might have been screwed up, most likely these plumbing parts,
Mhm.
then we would uh do ZZZ P0087. And right here we say
Oh,
false.
yep.
So that would essentially make it inactive if we imported that back in. It would just put all of those to sleep. But then if we have the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet already sitting out there, we just import those. It'll recreate those exact same parts again with the correct unit of measure because you went through the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet um, and fix that. So you've probably seen the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet. More people use that. That's probably the biggest import export one. Um, and there's a unit of measure filled there.
Okay.
So here's the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet. Here's the unit of measure filled.
Okay.
So if you find the ones that are wrong, that are messed up, you can change those to feet, but
Mhm.
you can't import it until you change the previous part number because Fishbowl won't let you change the unit of measure on the import for the same reason it won't let you change the unit of measure manually because
Yeah.
it's tied up in these bombs with also the each, how to fix unit of measure in mass. Step one, export part product vendor pricing .csv. Export bomb.csv. Export part product renaming.csv. And then change the I'll call them bad parts to ZZZ and active equals false. I'd say ZZZ part number. As a side note, use the concatenate concatenate formula. Use the VLOOKUP formula to bring units of measure and descriptions onto the product renaming.csv. So you get all that exported, fix the unit measure on the bombs, fix the unit measure on the part product renaming.csv. And then you have to do it in this order. Import, oh, excuse me. I said this wrong. Part product vendor pricing. Pricing. So fix the unit measure on the part product vendor pricing. Import the part product renaming.csv to put the wrong parts to sleep. Import the part product vendor pricing to recreate the parts with the correct units of measure, and then import the bomb.csv with the correct unit of measure to place the ZZZ parts with the new parts that have the correct unit of measure. Now, on a side note over here, export part product vendor pricing, it says fix the unit of measure on the part product vendor pricing spreadsheet. I would say on the part and the vendor part. So over on this spreadsheet here, if you scroll all the way to the right, there's a vendor unit of measure, a vendor part unit of measure. So that's where you put the bulk, the roll, the 300-foot roll
Okay.
would go there. And then the stock part over here, that's where feet would go if it's something that you measure in feet. How to fix unit of measure in mass. These are all the steps to fix unit of measure in mass.
Looks great.
Questions? There's a lot to kind of soak in, a lot of steps to go through. If you want my help with the import,
Mhm.
you might want to get everything ready and then call me or schedule some time to help me to get my help importing it. And I can look over the spreadsheets for you and make sure they're all right and it's going to do what you want it to do before you import it.
Okay.
And might be a good idea to run a backup of the database before you import it, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're making lots of changes, backing up the database, you go to setup schedule. This is one way to do it. You can create a database backup. Click new under schedule, and you don't have to put too much thought into it, but this directory actually has to be from the server's perspective.
Hmm.
So to create a scheduled backup, you actually have to be on the server, which I don't think we are, right?
No,
Okay.
I'm definitely in. No, I'm remote right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you can create a backup. So
Okay.
questions?
I do not have any. Chloe, do you have any questions?
No, I think I got it
Okay.
mostly.
If you come up with any questions, comment below. Be sure to click like and subscribe.
Will
Hit
do.
that smash that thumbs up button.
That's right. Okay, so if you're still watching this, you're either an operations geek or you're just letting it run in the background, or this was super helpful and you were glued to the screen the whole way. That's what we do here at Brando Consulting is we help you decide what software is right for you. So don't hesitate to reach out. And please, please, please react to this video. That tells YouTube that people like this video or if it was beneficial. Any type of reaction, YouTube says, oh, we'll let other people know about this video. So the commenting, please comment, subscribe, uh, whatever kind of reaction you can come up with, react to this video. And we greatly appreciate it. Click the link below, come to our website, fill out a contact form. I'm Lance, inventory software expert since 2006. And we have a lot of other videos like this for other software programs as well.